John's packing the UTC bar there with the 648. We're just going from this piece of ground we're on here to this other property. This is a job we cut back in August and September, and we just got busy other places, which is the nice part about having multiple skidders, because we had the neighbors to cut here. We've still got a pending track on the other neighbor over here, so kind of part of the reason we're just kind of hanging around. But today we're going to get started cutting over here, put some trees on the ground, and again we're just going to pack the UTC bar over here. That way we don't have to road the skid steer, track the skid steer back over here and grab it. We can easily pack it with that chain there. Pack it down here where it needs to go. I'll get the gate. This timber here, there's not a big bunch of timber in here. It's mainly a lot of black oak. There's some white oak, some decent post oak like what's right here. I don't think there's any walnut, maybe one or two scattered out. And this timber's pretty sporadic anyway. It's no big concentrations. It's a lot of walking through here, kind of cutting what's big enough to go. The reason we're cutting this is this landowner was nice enough to let us go through his farm here to get on this landlocked 80 back here that we logged. And he wanted to know if there was anything here to cut. Could we cut it for him to kind of help him out? And absolutely. I mean, it's like I said, normally I probably wouldn't jump on a track of timber like this, but he saved us a lot of time and trouble. So we're more than happy to do what we can while we're here. And like I said, it's no big job of timber. It's a lot of walking for sure, from tree to tree. But you know, the timber stand, it's not a bad timber stand. There's a lot of smaller white oak in here. The timber was cut, by the looks of it, I'm guessing probably 20 to 25 years ago by some of the stumps. I'd say they cut quite a bit of white oak. I've seen some walnut stumps in these draws down here, like where John's at in the skidder. The timber just hasn't regened like this 80 up here we cut did. That 80 up there, we cut a lot of timber off that, and it regened really well. At one time, this was all one big farm, and it was cut up, and it was all harvested at the same time. But this back here is definitely not grew back as quickly. A question we get a lot is why we don't just drag everything we can in our grapples when we're pulling logs to these skidders. And for us, you know, like with these 648s, on these shorter drags, 2, 3 at a time, even on the longer drags, generally we don't just load them down. The big reason is wear and tear. We don't have a lot of breakdowns on any of our equipment, and for a couple reasons. One, we're not just pulling the guts out of them day after day. They do what we need them to do, and we don't ask them to do a lot more than that. Are they capable of it? Absolutely. But we just don't run them hard. We do not run our equipment hard, and in turn, we don't have a lot of breakdowns. And when we have breakdowns, we have them, most of the time, it's going back to John Deere. We have it fixed with OEM parts, maintenance regiment, of course, having the shop and service truck, grease, oil, filters goes a long ways. We try to stay on top of anything. If we have leaks, cylinders are rebuilt, lines are replaced. I don't like to see any kind of wear and tear, slop, leaks on our equipment. And just like this, on these are short drags, but we don't pull the guts out of these skidders. We run them pretty easy. This timber here is all kind of a good, gentle eastern slope here, and it's not cutting too bad. Some of the red oak, or black oak, I guess, is cutting a little squirrely. We got a pretty good chunk off that one right there, but the white oaks cut pretty good. With a few walnut we've cut have cut pretty good, but they're not real big. Just some of this black oak's a little ornery. Another walnut down right there in the holler. Kind of working back this direction here. We'll cut a few more, then we'll probably get out of here for the day. Told Johnny if we could just come over here and kind of get the job going and get started. I'd try not to work him all day since it's a Saturday, but we at least wanted to kind of put a dent in it and try to get a good start on it anyway. I don't know how many we got cut. I didn't count. Not too bad for a Saturday morning with such a late start. I mean, late start. Like, we didn't start cutting till probably upwards of 10 o'clock at least, because Johnny went deer hunting this morning. I had to go drink coffee and get my education. And so yeah, I'm kind of, oh, I see the pile. It's not a bad pile of logs. Like I said, late start. Something to do. Yeah. Some good. Some terrible. That should butt off somewhere. Like I said, the black oak is not faring too well. The white oak and post oak isn't doing too bad. You can see that little white oak there. It's got a problem in the heart, but how many more he's got to drag out up there. Probably another, I don't know, 10, 12 trees. Old Utsi bar. You guys had any luck with them? You guys got one? Do you like it? There's definitely a bit of a learning curve with it. Once we figured out the learning curve, we love ours. But there is a learning curve. Definitely a learning curve.